While Milan is famous for its aperitivo ritual, as well as the many bitters of Milanese origin, not just Campari, which are some of the most popular aperitivi, a drink which probably doesn't spring to mind is gin. That's now changed, thanks to the Botanical Club of Milano, a micro gin distillery in the Isola district, which opened in mid-2015. A year later, the founders opened a new bar and restaurant on Via Tortona, just across the street from the museum, Mudec. I had a super smooth gin and tonic made with their own gin en route to dinner on one of my first nights in Milan this trip, and while sipping my G&T, noticed their restaurant area next to the bar and perused the dinner menu. On my last night before returning to Vienna, I decided to come back for dinner. Once I got seated, before I studied the menu, I ordered a Go Gin Mule, made with one of their batches of gin, along with goji berries and ginger beer. There might have been another ingredient I forgot to write down. I elected to stay with that for my starter from the raw bar, a ceviche of orata, or sea bream, with lime, ginger, pickled red onions, celery, chili serrano, and cilantro. Ceviches are always a delight, and it had been a while since I'd had one, much less one this good. Under the heading Cucina, I found a mixture of Pacific Rim cuisine, with some of those elements spilling over into variations of traditional Milanese dishes. One of those is what I selected to continue with. The house doesn't do the usual Italian split of antipasto primo secondo, even if what ended up being my main dish would have featured as a primo elsewhere. It was a saffron risotto with a thick ribbon of raw bluefin tuna tartare adorned with chives down the middle, with a lane of black sesame seeds parallel to it. Risottos, as you know, are some of my favorite primi. This tweaking of the ultimate Milanese classic was a great addition to my Milan restaurant risotto repertoire. To go with this, I got a glass of 2016 Nostrale, a Sicilian wine made from 100% Catarratto grapes by the Longarico winery in Alcamo, roughly halfway between Palermo and Trapani. It was the last night of my trip, so I felt I deserved a lavish dessert as a send-off. A Cuban chocolate mousse with what was described as a black crumble, more chocolate, tempered by lemon gelatin and sesame salt. The combination of the lemon and sesame flavors helped keep the mousse's richness from being overwhelming. A glass of tawny port was what the waiter recommended to go with it, which I thought combined very well not just with the chocolate, but the flavor of the sesame as well. I made sure I kept enough to savor after the dessert to bring my dinner and evening to a very mellow conclusion.